All right, we're gonna continue from where we left off. So that's um, so last time we covered the auto layout and components. So I covered all of these, and so this is the only video they some people come up and then they give us some advice. So that's where I left off, and the last video was 11 days ago, and I am sorry for that. Well, I stopped making videos because it was raining and the power goes out a lot. So also I don't like working on my computer whenever it is raining. So now it's stopped. Now, I mean, for the past 2 days it's been pretty sunny, so we can hop over this course and continue. All right. So let me open up the Figma again. Figma. We're gonna go to. So I downloaded the desktop app instead of using the browser. That's because uh, the fonts I installed on my computers were not showing up. All right, and I tried to create some my own projects where I could just use this tool to sort of like organize uh, stuff. There are you can use it to create mind maps or something. All right, where was that? Where was it? Figma tutorial maybe. Seems like, yeah, this is um yep. So this is where we stopped. We got these components. So the thing about these components is that you can like they've got padding and the texts are centered, and when you drag it, the text can the text inside of the text can shrink to fill the container. And if the container is bigger than the max width allowed for the text, it won't expand. Anyway, you need to be you need to know how to use the the width hug properties like hug contents and fill container or something. All right, so let's see. So I have made some. So we're gonna go over the hug and fill real quick. So I got so where is it? I got frame here and a rectangle and ellipse. So the frame is bigger than this the inside the bigger than the these two objects. So if I set the frame to hug content, it will hug, like it will this frame will shrink to fit the object. On the other end, if I make this, so this is set to fill content, right? So let me go to select the frame, and there's a fixed width. Okay, height. So you give the fill container to the children, right? That's why. So I'm gonna select both of them and change it to fixed width. So that covers the width and also the all right, it's working now. So now the container is, so the container is not like, we can set the container to hug the objects, or we can set the objects to fill the container. So there are like there's like a parent-child relationship. For example, parent can hug and children can expand to fill the parent. So let's talk about so the gap. So we got a frame, and here, let's see. Okay, we need to go to the gaps. Right, we got a gap of 50. Right, we got a gap of 50. We got 70, 10, something like this, right? And this is not, the parent is not set to hug. So basically we got a parent that has fixed like width, and we just want to, you know, like put equal amount of gaps, then we can use the auto. So let's go to here and then just set it to auto, and it will push everything. And the gap, all right, so basically these two objects are pushed to the you know, extreme ends, and this one is centered, and so basically it pushes the objects to the end to fill the container. All right, next we're gonna explore this one's chapter 6, I believe. All right, in this video we'll be creating this nav bar. It's pretty easy. We already know we can create this with the knowledge we already have. So let me open up Figma and then start creating it. So we got a page, and I noticed that the canvas is white and I don't like it. So I'm gonna just go to edit, and maybe I don't want to select anything. So I'm gonna click away, and then let's see, I give it some color and make it change the, what is this, transparency, opacity or something, to, I'm gonna reduce that. I'm gonna delete it. So what we need some sort of frame, and three we need 2 text layers and a button. I'm gonna create a frame. The frame is supposed to be, well, let's create our one with width, custom width. I'll choose 1440 for the width, and for the height I'm going to choose 80. The reason is we'll be creating this design for the desktop, and desktop preset as 1440p width. Now we need a text. So I'm gonna give it my name, and press escape and then drag it to the center. and I'm gonna then select it and change the font. I'm gonna keep the font to 20 pixel and make this like bigger, but they're choosing the inter for the course. I'm gonna change it to something else. I'm gonna choose this one. Compared to the inter, this one looks, I guess, small, but no, it's not. All right, I'm gonna just leave it like that. And we need to create this text and this button. So these are links. So I'll just call it link, and we're gonna choose the inter and select the medium, and then choose 18 or something. So we're gonna center it. So before we move on, we need to look at how to duplicate objects. So they talk extensively on how to duplicate objects. There are two ways you can duplicate objects. One is using the modifier key. Another one is using the commands. So the modifier way works by, you just need to press Alt if you're a window and then just drag it. That will create a duplicate object. So the next one is pressing Control D, right? You can also probably, okay, there's this option, duplicate, Control D. So you just select an object and you press Control D. Notice that there's an object on top of the object we selected, but the object doesn't appear on the canvas. Well, it's because it's on top of the object. You can just click and drag it. So when you click, the only advantage using this command instead of using the modifier key is that Figma remembers the transformation you did. So when I press Control D again, it will follow the same transformation. It will apply the same transformation. So I dragged to the right a bit and down a little, so it did the same thing. All right, I'm gonna copy this, and then I'm gonna center it vertically, align vertical centers, and drag this to the center, and then I'm gonna wrap this in auto layout. I noticed that yeah, we can still change the gap manually. Great. All right, so I'm gonna also show you one more thing that you can do with the command Control D. I'm gonna duplicate and rotate this a bit, and then I continue duplicating this. When I do this, it creates this weird looking shape. I thought this looks great, so yeah, I think the only advantage I think using the command D is that you can create shapes like this. All right, let's build the rest of the navigation component. So next we need a button. So we got a frame, and I need a button. I'm gonna go to the assets, and I'm gonna click create it in this file. I'm going to choose the button, and I'm going to just drag it and place it like here. So I want to adjust the individual gaps here and the gap here individually. So these gaps need to be same, but this gap needs to be different. So if I put the button and the links in the same auto layout, I can't individually adjust the gap. So these two needs to be this needs to be in a different auto layout. So this is already in a different layout. I'm gonna put this in together in another auto layout. Shift A, and they're in auto layout. Great. I'm gonna let's see. Let's so I'm gonna just leave it like this. Also, we so we got a auto layout here. Instead of deleting something, so let's say we wanted to add we only wanted one link at the moment, but I'm gonna assume we'll add more links. Instead of deleting this link, we can hide it. The frame automatically sort of like assumes the text layers aren't there, behaves as if it's removed, but they're there. You can always like unhide them to make it appear. Right, so I'm gonna leave it like that. Also, I don't like the frame like doing this sort of, it has this fixed width. So let's try contents. So and then the gap, right? Let's see. So how much gap do we want? I'll just say I don't really care how much the gap. I'm gonna just leave it like this. So then I'm gonna put this 3 in another auto layout. So I can set the width for this. So where is it? I'm gonna just click Shift A. It's an auto layout, and then I will set the max width. 1000, and so I'm gonna select the top layout. I'm gonna call this navigation, and this thingy I'm gonna call this content. So these are extra I don't know, menu or something. So this one is called, this one is links. So when we expand it, it won't expand more than 1000 pixel. All right, I'm gonna like I'm gonna select this one, and then where is it, like make it. All right, we need, I think I need to go here and then select extra. Okay, I did that, but can I just go here to the navigation and then do the same thing? So vertical align, nah. So what is this? This is auto layout. This one is not an auto layout. I'm gonna convert this to an auto layout and put it into the center. Is this auto layout? Yeah, it's auto layout. The gap is set to auto. So if we select the thingy, and then when we make it, it's gonna always push the children. Also, I'm gonna make this content have the like fill container. Will it gonna work? Because I did set the, yep, I did set the width. I did set the max width. So right, we need to make it fill container. Okay, great. So one thing I noticed is that the link is not centered. So usually I try to, position it. I'm looking at here, it's not here. So, and then I'll go to extra menu, and then I try to center it. Great. Now if I can like turn on this button, and they have the same gaps, and this one has a different gap. So like if you wanted to have different gaps, you wrap auto layouts on top of auto layouts. All right, let's see. So this one has 1,000 width, and when we shrink this, yeah, it is pretty responsive. And so we're gonna just keep the width like this. We're not gonna worry about the for now, but I want the height to be fixed. So I want the height to be fixed. All right, I noticed that the name list is also not centered. So how do we make this center? Do I just need to like select this one, and then there's no option to make it centered? Like, what is it? Align middle. All right, so I made the text a big. We can sort of like make it like this when we do this, and then go back to the typography, and we can use this button, align top, align bottom, to sort of like align the text in the bounding box. But so I'm just gonna like go to content, and then just set the height to hug contents, and right, I just set to hug content. So we're pretty much done with the section, but also I want to create another component, footer component, and that's pretty much looks like this. But instead of these links, it will have an email and phone number. So I'm gonna just copy this one real quick. So let's go and change it to footer. And I'm gonna get rid button real quick because we don't need it. And then we also don't need this extra menu thingy. So where is it? Remove auto layout. I'm going to click remove auto layout. So that doesn't do anything. Okay, we need to select ungroup. So when we ungroup it, it kind of like removes the outer auto layout. So now we have this. I'm gonna quickly change this to email address. So let's see. And we're gonna add a phone number. All right, that's pretty much it. We're done. Also, I'm gonna change this to something like, yep. We're gonna change this to case studies. And then I'm gonna hide these two buttons and then change the text inside of this button to let's work together. All right, we're done in this with this section. All right, before moving on, I'll just turn them into components. I'm gonna go to the components and I'm gonna click on create multiple components. And it created these components. Wait a minute. I think I'm gonna undo it because it created a container components out of the inner thingy. I don't want that. So I'm gonna select these two, and I'm gonna click on create multiple components. All right. So now we got that, and so all the components I have created are in the new component. So I want to go to the where is that exploration, maybe select these two and then move to page to new components. Move to page, new components. All right. Okay, in this section we're gonna look at Boolean operations. So I'm gonna change the color real quick of these two objects. So now let's look at the Boolean operations. So there are, let me just select two shapes. So whenever you select two or more shapes, you get the option for the Boolean operations. There's actually 5 Boolean operations here, I think, but we're gonna look at the top 4: union, subtract, intersect, exclude. So the union, let's look at the union. I'm gonna place it like this, place these two shapes like this, so they are overlapping. Also, I'm gonna change the color to this right now. How do I let me just select the color and use the color picker. Okay, seems like these two shapes are like one shape, right? So when you look at it, it seems like a single shape, but when you apply effects like stroke, it applies to both the shape. So we just want to have the stroke appear outside of the shape, not like the inside when they're overlapping. So we don't want that. So what you're looking for is you want to combine these two shapes. So just select them and then select union. Now they're perfectly combined, and now we can apply stroke and it appears on the outer edge of this shape and they are combined. Also you can like move the shape, right? You can move the shape. It's not non-destructive or something, so you can move the shape, you can play around with it. And if you wanted to remove the operation, just click on ungroup. I'm gonna undo that. Okay, so that's the first one. So let's look at the second one. So this combines the shape, right? This let's look at the subtract. When I click this, it punches the sort of like it punches hole through the bottom shape, right? It uses the top shape as a sort of like I don't know, like some sort of a shape that will just cut out the beneath, the shape underneath. Now you can add a stroke and it will it will appear on the outer edge and also the inner hole. So that's subtract. And then we got intersect. So when we select intersect, only like this shape. So we got two shapes and they're intersecting and creating this shape. So when we choose intersect, it will only make the intersection of these two visible, make it visible. Everything else will disappear. So one weird quirk with the intersect is so if we don't have anything selected and then we select intersect, it will just disappear. And then again, you just need to like drag it to make it appear. All right, finally we got exclude. So this is just like this one. It kind of like subtract. Instead, it it just removes the intersecting shape, right? The shapes formed by intersecting these shapes is removed. All right, we're gonna use these Boolean operations to create various goofy looking shapes. All right, we're gonna use what we learned to create these shapes. God damn it. We got this shape and this and this. God damn it, I don't know how to move this shape, bro. So let's look at how to create this one. So I'm gonna go to the Figma. All right, so first I'm gonna create a frame. So I just use the last frame. It's gonna be like 48 by 48. It doesn't matter, like we don't know what we are doing, right? So I'm just gonna choose this size. This one looks like a union. We just need like 3 pill. So I'm gonna choose a rectangle and I'm gonna create something like this, right? I'm gonna choose this and I'll center it. Maybe I need to go to the frame and so before we do this, I'm gonna show you something cool. So I'm gonna rename this to shape 1, and then I'm gonna select this and I'm gonna make duplicates. So I made 4 more duplicates. So look at it. When I give it a name plus a number, it created a name and increases the numbers. All right, I think I should not have added this rectangle. I'm just gonna try to, you know what? I'm gonna just remove it and delete it, and then I'm gonna duplicate it again. All right, cool. I'm just gonna add a rectangle, make it a little small, duplicate it, make it small, and then duplicate it. Does it look like this? Yeah, pretty much looks like this, but we need to round the corners. Right, we got corner, we can round the corner by going to the appearance tab, and then we got this option. All right, we increase it. Okay. So I'm gonna just combine this shape using the Boolean operation, so that whenever we add some sort of stroke, it's gonna like add the stroke to the outer edge and not the inner edge. So go to the Boolean operation, select union. So that's pretty much it for the first shape, and we're gonna create this one next. I'm gonna select a rectangle, but it made it really big. All right, so notice that it has a hole in the middle, so we can just use the subtract. I'm gonna just enter it and then select both of them and then go to the Boolean operation, subtract. And then I can use it to center it. Also notice that it is kind of like rotated a little bit, and its corner radiuses is rounded. So I'm gonna go to the rectangle and rotate it. So to rotate it, I need to like go to the edge, and when the icon turns to this shape, I can then rotate it. All right, so I don't see any sort of like guide saying that yeah, you're perfectly in the rotated. So I'm just gonna go to here and just put it in -45, and then round the corner a little bit. And great, and I'm gonna make this small. I'm pressing and holding Shift and Alt to make the center stick, and then I'm just like dragging to make it small. All right, next we're gonna create this weird looking flower thingy. So just like that, we need a triangle, a rectangle, and we're gonna round the corner. Okay. Like we learned previously, we can use the duplicate command to make a weird repeating shapes. So I'm gonna press Ctrl D. It will create a duplicate shape and then rotate it. I'm gonna manually set it to -45 and then make duplicates. So it creates something like this, and then I'm gonna select everything and create a union, and then I'm gonna create a circle. And then I'm gonna select both of them and use the subtract to create a hole in the middle. And then let's also create these two shapes. So I looks like these two are a rectangle, rounded rectangles. So let's go. Is there a rectangle? Okay, there is a rectangle. Make it like perfectly 90. Expand a little bit and round the corner. Something like that, and expand it a little bit. And then I'm gonna duplicate it. Control D. Okay, wait a minute, where? Okay, why can't I duplicate it? So we need to mirror this object. So where is the option for that? So we got position. Okay, we got here mirror. You go right. I want to select both. I'm gonna go to the shapes and vertically center this. And then I'm just gonna use the union. Okay, lastly, we need to create a dish shape. This one looks complicated, but let's try. So I feel like it's a circle, right? I feel like it's a circle. So I'm gonna create a circle, a really big circle. I'm gonna hold shift and drag it. Let's see. So pretty much like this, right? So first I'm gonna create a hole. So before we do that, we got a shape. So in the shape, I want there's a clip content, but yeah, dude. Okay, great. I'm gonna use another circle to sort of like clip these two. Subtract, and then I can use our rectangle and I'm gonna copy this one, rotate it -90, and then drag it. Select these two shapes and subtract. Wait a minute. So they're on top of that. So I'll select these two and I subtract, but it is not subtracting. Okay, wait a minute. Ungroup, put the shape inside of that, select it and subtract. Select this two and then subtract. I mean, it sort of looks like that. And yeah, we need to go to. All right, then we can just go ahead and to the circle. What the hell? So I select the circle and I make it a little smaller. Select the whole thing and okay, that's gonna mess up everything. And yeah, we created these goofy looking shapes. So where's the option for the tidy up? What is this? More options. Why the tidy up option is not available? So it's already pretty much tidied up. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. We're gonna continue in the next video.